Vamos, brothers, this is JTLive. Welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. I was going to record a South Stand signing, so you're scratching your head thinking, where is it today? The file actually, unfortunately, corrupted, and I was halfway through recording a new one, and I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'll save it all for a special Bonanza episode tomorrow. And today, let's discuss some more pertinent issues surrounding Leeds United. And of course, Leeds United versus Southampton. It is on the horizon. And we have just had Jesse Marsch's first press conference surrounding the game. And there is so much for us to get our gnashes dug into. So, before we do get into that, we are trying to hit 4K before the end of the month. So, if you could help support me, support you, and stay up to date with everything on the channel by smashing that subscribe button down below and ticking the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future content. But let's not waste any more of your time. Let's get straight into the meat of the action. And it was a great start to the season against Wolves on the weekend. A beautiful start, a divine start of orgasmic proportions. The first time since Leeds had been promoted to the Premier League that we actually won our opening game. And we won it not in the most convincing of fashions. Sure, there was times in the game where we were overran, but we still managed to win the game. We still showed a lot that I found to be pretty impressive, if you ask me. The new signings really showed themselves in good light. I'm talking Brendan Aronson absolutely running the show, showing great physicality. Leeds' press actually sensational at times. And one man who wasn't really near the front line but played a massive role in that press was Tyler Adams. The guy was here, there and everywhere. He was pressing forward. He was helping Leeds win the ball nice and high up into Wolves' half. He was then back in our own half, basically stopping them from going through one-on-one at times. The guy was everywhere. The new signings, I'm telling you, they're gelling. And it's only going to get better as the weeks go on and the weeks roll on, especially going into this Southampton game. A lot of them now have more experience playing in a Premier League fixture, a high intense Premier League fixture, so it's only going to show good things going forward for me. And I'm going into this one with confidence. I'm going into this one high on optimism that Leeds are going to show what we're made of once again. And Southampton are a side who, I believe, are 13 games winless under Ralph Hasenhüttl, a guy who is favourite or odds-on favourite to get the chop first in the Premier League this year, which is kind of ironic because before the season started, Jesse Marsch is actually the favourite, and it's looking now like Jesse Marsch could be secure in his seat at Ellen Road. Obviously, it's early days, we can't get ahead of ourselves here, but for me, I like what he's building. I like the way Leeds are playing. We're gelling more as a team now. Defensively, we're starting to look a lot stronger. I put that down massively to Tyler Adams and Mark Rocker. Actually, I want to get your guys' thoughts on Mark Rocker. Mark Rocker, for me, I'm still very impressed with him. I see him as a metronome in there. I've said it before. I like the way he dictates the pace of the game. There are some people I'm saying or seeing saying that he has some sort of issue with his movement, saying that he's not that dynamic, saying that he slows the game down a little bit too much for them. It's an interesting one. It's a 50-50. I do like the way that he slows the game down at times. Does he slow it down too much? Is he not dynamic enough? These are the things I want to get your guys' takes on. For me, I really like the partnership he has with Tyler Adams. I think they complement each other perfectly. And I'm excited to see what he could do against Southampton, although he will have his work cut out with him for him against Ward-Prowse. And speaking of Ward-Prowse and players that Leeds players are going to be having to come up against, we should look at the players that they are going to be missing. First of all, they are going to be losing Livramento down that right-hand side, who isn't going to return actually until 2023. Nathan Teller is also out with a knee injury. It's a 50% chance he plays. It doesn't look like he's going to be featuring either, which is very, very important for Leeds, because last season when we did play Southampton, Nathan Teller, for me, was actually causing us a lot of problems back there. He was spinning Llorente multiple times there like a Beyblade on steroids, and it wasn't looking too good. He did look very dangerous, and I'm kind of relieved that we're not going to be going up against him. They're also going to be missing Theo Walcott, and they're also going to be missing Silvera Venez Vojanovic. However, the big news in the squad developments, of course, does come from Leeds, who have an even stronger squad than the one we deployed against Wolves, with not only Dan James, the Welsh Messi, coming back. I mean, what a performance he put in pre-season. I'm excited to see how he takes to the Premier League, because a lot of people have been sleeping on DJ. They've been sleeping on my brother Dan James. Well, let me tell you something. If he plays anywhere near the level that he played against Brisbane Roar, then we have got a serious player on our hands. And I think he could be rivaling some of these players, whether it be SINISTERRA, whether it be Harrison, whether it be Aronson. He could be rivaling some of these boys for a starting position. He could be a bit of a dark horse this season. He is going to be back. And speaking of SINISTERRA, he is also back in contention for a starting position, according to Jesse Marsh. Which is big news for Leeds. We are obviously still missing Stuart Dallas. We're still missing Luke Ayling. And we're still going to be missing Senior Firpo. We need to sort out that left-back role. Will we actually get it sorted out this season? I'm not sure that we actually will. So we can only hope that Senior Firpo comes back and that he is fit and firing on all cylinders, because otherwise we're going to have a serious problem this season if we don't bring in some sort of substitute left back, because I'm not going to lie to you, Struijk at left back, I just prefer him in that centre half position so much more. But hey, what can you do? What can you do? And speaking of where I'd like to see Struijk, I think it's time to get into our rolled 1, 2, 11. And starting off in goal is, of course, going to be the main man, Meslier. Alright, he was on fire against Wolves. Absolutely on fire. One of the main reasons that we didn't lose in the end, he was pulling off some absolute crackers. His distribution, whilst improved, still isn't 100%. It's still suspect at times. However, that is only going to get more and more calmed and assured as time goes on. It's actually funny. Jesse Marsh recently was coming out and talking about how he wants him to become more of a leader. I'm more vocal back there. Maybe that will help, you know, maybe when he matures and he gets more into that role, he'll become more vocal, he'll become more of a leader, his distribution will become calmer. Only time will tell, but actually as a shot stopper, mwah, divine. Back to, I think, you know, I wouldn't do it. You know, I'll give what I want. And I give what I think will happen. I'll start with the back three. I would back four. I'd love to see Koch and Struijk back there, and I'd love to see Rasmus Christensen. Hopefully, he fights the demons that he did have against Wolves. Hopefully, he performs a lot better there. And then left back, I'd like to see Jack Harrison. I'd like to see Rocker and Adams in the midfield, rocking and rolling until the sun don't shine. I would like to see Brendan Aronson right attacking midfield. I'd like to see Rodrigo Moreno and Cam. I'd like to see Bamford up front. And left wing, I'd like to see SINISTERRA. However, do I think that SINISTERRA will get into the squad that quickly? No. So I think he will put Jack Harrison down in left attacking midfield. I think he'll put Struijk at left back. And I think he'll put Llorente at the back with Koch. I think it'll be the same lineup that we did against Wolves. Personally, I do want to see Joffy get more game time than he did against Wolves. I don't know who you put him in for right now, because Rodrigo obviously had a pretty impressive game against Wolves, not only scoring but helping up in the link-up play quite a bit. Bamford, of course, looking back to his best. You know, he's looking better and better as the games go on. It's looking exciting for Leeds going forward. We will see Dan James feature for at least 30 to 40 minutes. I will predict whether he starts or not. I'm not sure. Would you start DJ? Would you start Jack Harrison up front? Would you start Jack Harrison left back? Would you give SINISTERRA more of a run out? Let me know what you're doing down in the comments section down below. I want to see a 1s to 11 down there. And the highest rated 1s to 11 will be getting shouted out in the next video. But thank you for watching. It has been your boy JT, and I will see you very soon. Au revoir. Or maybe I won't, because I forgot to give you my score prediction, which will of course be 3-0 Leeds United, 3-0 Leeds United. It's going to be a clean sheet. It's going to be a whitewash. Let me know your scores on the doors down below. But for now, for real, I'll see you in a bit.